Greetings. So welcome. I don't know if anybody's on yet, but I'm just going to kind of just dig in and start. I thought I would go live for Sunday Song and Rumination today and play some of my own, most of my own pieces that I feel are very much in keeping with the Advent season. I have a lot of songs that fit this season, and I was thinking about the project that I did with Noel Keating, my friend from Ireland, who wrote a book called Meditation with Children. And then last year we did this project together, this album called Meditation with Children, Songs and Reflections. And that entire album, I've been listening to it this week and really understanding that what the children intuited while they were doing centering prayer and meditation is very much in keeping with the Advent season. And so I've been listening to it just for my own, just to hear what the children actually had to say about their interior reality. So for that project, I kind of rewrote some of the words to my song, Hope Beyond All Hope. So what I did is I've put together some of the verses from the Meditation with Children project, and then also put some of the other verses from the original. So I'm going to start with this song, Hope Beyond All Hope. Hello, everyone. In the quiet of the day, I sit in stillness, meditate, and in some real mysterious way, I know that God is here with me. Our hope beyond all hope did come to call us each and every one to the surface of our consciousness. God dwells within and always has. Fashion all you can create that delights the one who incarnates and links himself to the same fate as we sleepers who must rise to wake. Our hope beyond all hope did come to call us each and every one to the surface of our consciousness. God dwells within and always has. Put our feet back on the ground, contemplation's heart resound. We're still pursued by heaven's hound. Oh, lover, seek us till we're found. Our hope beyond all hope did come to call us each and every one to the surface of our consciousness. God dwells within and always has. I'm looking at the evening sky. Stars twinkle secrets through the night. This whole universe and you and I were born to breathe the breath of God. Our hope beyond all hope did come to call us each and every one to the surface of our consciousness. God dwells within and always has. God within and always will. I'm just going to do something here. I always do this. I record this in like a really high quality recording so that I have like a live kind of concert at the end of it. And I always forget to push record, so I'm just going to do that right now. So hope beyond all hope won't be on there, but welcome. Hello, Judith, Gary. Lots of people on here. Nice to see you. So I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, but I decided to compose a song for each candle that's lit through the Advent season. And the first one is the Prophet's Candle. And this is kind of a little chant almost that I wrote for the lighting of the Prophet's Candle. I don't have a candle out here, it's the afternoon. But if you maybe return to this later today, I'm also going to put this on YouTube, so you can watch it there if you want to. But if you wanted to listen to it or just kind of remember the chant tonight, then you could light it. And then also I'm going to do the Angel's Candle today, even though that's not in the perfect sequence. We light a candle for the ancient prophets and chant hymns of longing for the fruit of the root of the Jesse tree, the Jesse tree. We light a candle for the ancient prophets and chant incantations for the fruit of the root of the Jesse tree, the Jesse tree. And the Spirit of the Lord rested on him. The Spirit of the Lord rested on him. We light a candle for the ancient prophets and chant hymns of longing for the fruit of the root of the Jesse tree, the Jesse tree. We light a candle for the ancient prophets and chant incantations for the fruit of the root of the Jesse tree, the Jesse tree. And the Spirit of the Lord rested on him. And the Spirit of the Lord rested on him. May the Spirit of the Lord rest upon us. May the Spirit of the Lord rest upon us. So this is another little simple chant that I wrote from the perspective of the angel who visits Mary. Her heart beat in time with my wings. Her heart beat in time with my wings. Hail Mary, full of grace. this fall, I released an album called Hymns from the Icons. And that was an album that basically had a group of songs that were my renditions of songs that were made famous by iconic songwriters. This wasn't a super famous song, but Johnny Cash, I would say, is deeply famous. One of the only country artists to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and to be accepted in so many realms. Actually, I should remind you, if you haven't watched, it's about a 40-minute documentary. I think it's still on Netflix, called Tricky Dick and the Man in Black. It's a powerful, powerful documentary on the power of music and how when someone gains notoriety because of their music, they have quite an influence, actually. And it's a story of how Richard Nixon actually attempted to, he invited Johnny Cash to the White House at a very interesting time in history. And he attempted to create Johnny Cash's set list for him. And I won't say anything else other than the way Johnny Cash handled that entire situation is, I would call it non-dual consciousness at the highest level. So I'm going to play the song that I covered by Johnny Cash, because I feel like, what is Advent for if not to see the Imago Dei, the instilled preciousness of the whole of creation. And this is a song called All God's Children Ain't Free. I'd sing more about the morals of this land, but all God's children ain't free. I'd open up every door I can, but all God's children ain't free. I met a beaten, broken man. He shovels dirt, but God knows land. And he held out his hand to me. All God's children ain't free. I'd sing along to a silly song, but all God's children ain't sharecropper shack or penitentiary. All God's children ain't free. From a sharecropper shack or penitentiary. All God's children ain't free. Yeah, so I'll just mention again that documentary if you get a chance. It's about Johnny Cash and Richard Nixon, and it's called Tricky Dick and the Man in Black. And it is a powerful, powerful story. And that was a song by Johnny Cash. That's why I mentioned it. And actually, the original version by Johnny Cash is a very perky kind of... It's a perky version, so it gets everybody in on it, and then they realize what he's saying. And I felt like I had, I felt like I could turn it into a lament and get away with it. So I have this other song that I wrote prior to the Meditation with Children album. But then we decided to put it on the album, and I changed the lyrics again. And it's interesting how I think I might like some of the lyrics from the children's one a little bit more, because it's just so simple, and yet maybe the most simple things are have the most power to them. I'm actually reading the Lord of the Rings series out loud to my kids right now. And my kids are, my oldest just turned 7, and my other one is 4.5. And we have the most incredible philosophical discussions after we've read sections of Lord of the Rings. I've already read The Hobbit, the Narnia series. I definitely sort of jumped the gun on reading out loud to them because it's just a delight for me. But some of the discussions that we have about the character of Gollum, for instance, is super fascinating. My 4-year-old Francis, he noticed that, and this is just really powerful, he noticed that Frodo and Sam would still be circling around Emyn Muil if it weren't for what he called Gollum, a complicated character, that they needed a complicated character to move them forward in the story. And I thought that was really insightful. So all that to say that sometimes when if you're writing with children in mind, like I was for the Meditation with Children project, some of the most profound things can arise. So this is a very, very Advent-oriented piece. It is Advent. So it's called Love Make Your Way. There is a love rooted deep in us. It wants to grow and grow and grow. All it needs is for our light to shine, and when tears come, to let them grow. Oh love, grow inside of us. Oh love, make your way. Oh love, show the world that it bears your holy name. There is a love rooted deep in us. It wants to grow and grow and grow. All it needs is for our light to shine, and when tears come, to let them flow. Oh love, grow inside of us. Oh love, make your way. Oh love, show the world that it bears your holy name. I say yes in the silence. I say welcome in my being. I say yes, I'll be a home for God's love to make its way. Oh love, grow inside of us. Oh love, make your way. Oh love, show the world that it bears your holy name. Oh love, show the world that it bears your holy name. How is everyone doing? It's so strange to only get to play concerts like this now. I don't think it will be forever. I don't know about you, but I feel like there's hope around the corner. And where I am actually is it's the toughest restrictions right now in Canada, and so everything is on shutdown. We haven't left the farm in quite a while, and we're just trying to stay well and stay hopeful, and let the tears come when they need to come. For me, sometimes I get overwhelmed with the presence I can feel of the suffering across the world, and I have to give it over to what Richard Rohr calls the one ache, capital A, and give my little ache over and join in and participate in the one great ache, and find ways to do my part. And so if there are some people watching right now who are living alone, I offer an embrace, a sincere embrace, and encourage you. I mentioned last week, actually, in something I wrote, my Sunday song last week, for those living by themselves who are in a bubble of one, to even use their imaginations to feel an embrace even by your blankets at night, and to encounter what you are able, if you have a plant or a cat or something. And I want you to feel encountered by me right now, because we who believe in the incarnation, for goodness sake, should understand the great web of connection that is the ground of our being, the ultimate reality, and it's a great hope. And I really do think that around the corner we will so appreciate encounter again. Such an interesting thing to think about. Someone like Martin Buber and all his work on all real living is relationship or encounter, and how that's the one thing that we are being asked not to do, at least in the physical realm. And I actually do think that when this blows over, however it does, our appreciation for each other may go up. That's my hope. Maybe I'm just too optimistic. But what is Advent if not optimistic? So I am going to play the ultimate Advent song, not mine. O Come, Emmanuel. And last year, I saw kind of a memory of a piece I wrote last year for Sunday Song that showed how it taught about how O Come, Emmanuel. The melody of this piece was a death dirge in the medieval age, for centuries and centuries before it ever became an Advent piece. And so I find that to be, maybe there's some dissonance there, but maybe it's a beautiful dissonance, because this melody was tested by the strength of love, lovers who mourned, as this beautiful melody, da 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 da, as they marched their loved one home. So I'm going to try and play this. Oh come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel, that mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appears. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, and with us ever dwell. Oh, come, thou Key of David, come and open wide our heavenly home, and make safe the way to thee, and close the path to misery. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, and with us ever dwell. Oh come, O bright and morning star, and bring us comfort from afar. Dispel the shadows of the night, and turn our darkness into light. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, and with us ever dwell. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, and with us ever dwell. I just noticed that my friend Sheila is on here, and she says the hug is truly appreciated. I actually have a story about Sheila. Sheila is a spiritual director and a priest, Anglican priest, and one who has led pilgrimages to Iona, and a dear friend of mine. And I actually tried for most of my labor, in my first labor, to have my baby in her house. And I ended up having to go to the hospital, but Sheila was there for the whole thing as my spiritual director, and she prayed my son Oliver into the world. And I remember her saying, interestingly, that I mentioned that the melody for O Come Emmanuel was a death dirge before it became this song about the hope of the ultimate birth of life. I remember her saying that the only other honor, the only greater honor than to have a baby born in the house would be for someone to wish for them to die in her house, that she could midwife them in that way. And I'll always remember that, Sheila. So very nice to see you here. And to tell that story of how I almost had Oliver, my firstborn, in your house. But Sheila came to the hospital and sat in the corner and did all the praying for me, because let me tell you, I mean, I think we pray without ceasing no matter what we're saying. But there were some moments for that labor where I advocated for myself, and maybe a few expletives showed up. But my friend James Finley has said, when I was coaching him through a few technical things that we were doing when we were working on projects, he said that technical difficulties are enough to make the Pope swear. And he's never been in labor, so. So I actually have, one last song for you. I'm thinking I'm going to go on next Sunday as well. And I want to mention to everyone that I also have a big surprise that I'm working on, a musical visual surprise that I'm working on, and it will be announced in due time, but I just wanted to hint at it because I'm working hard on it every day, and I'll let you know about it when the time comes. So yeah, if you want to join me next Sunday, I thought I would just continue forward with I have so many pieces. I just jotted down a few that would fit for this season of Advent, because I love the Incarnation. I love it. I believe it. And I believe that many intuited it for much longer than the past 2,000 years. It's been intuited maybe since the dawn of consciousness, that there is a presence that is love, and we're a part of it. So a fitting end for this. These words were inspired by, I believe, well, Be Still and Know That I Am God, but also the Carmina Gadelica, all that huge book of incantations and prayers and blessings that were collected in the Highlands by Alexander Carmichael. And I believe that they can be, the grouping of words that they are, can be attributed to John Philip Newell, who I went on pilgrimage with last year to Iona. And that was a very formative time for my own journey. It was a much needed treasure hunt, shall we say. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll end with this song, this chant. Hello, Ruth. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have to say it before I start. So, Sheila is on, and she was there praying my son Oliver into the world. And now my friend Ruth is on, and she is a doula. And she was there praying my son Francis into the world. If this isn't a beautiful way to celebrate Advent, I don't know what is. When my son Oliver was born, I was actually still attending the Living School, Richard Rohr's Living School for Action and Contemplation, and he was 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks old, around, and I entered into my course, and it was on the whole entire module was on human incarnation. And it was very powerful to have this little baby there for that. And I also read, Dennis Edwards, who's since passed, his thesis on Karl Rahner's work. It was called Jesus and the Cosmos. And it was such a powerful time. It completely brought me back to music, and I composed that album that I returned with, Behold, I Make All Things New, out of that experience of having had a baby, having gone through a module that was so powerful on human incarnation, and then moved into like cosmic incarnation, and read Dennis Edwards' book, Jesus and the Cosmos. So thank you, Ruth and Sheila, for being here. You were my doulas with my own babies. So that's pretty special. And I'll say hi to them for you. Be still and aware of God's presence within and all around. Be still and aware of God's presence within and all around. Be still, be still, be still, be still, be still and aware of God's presence within and all around. Be still and aware of God's presence within and all around. Be still, be still, be still, be still. Be still and aware of God's presence within and all around. Be still and aware of God's presence within and all around. Be still, be still, be still, be still. Thank you so much for joining me. Please know that you are embraced, especially if you are in a bubble of one. And I'll see you next week, and I'll play some more Advent songs to help us feel so connected, because we really are. This is a deep, mysterious web, and we are not alone.